What is this picture, Jill? Do you know? I've never seen anything like this.
I have not. Is that the Earth?
It is. It's us.
That's the Earth now.
And it's probably closer to where you are than where I am, because the...
Yeah, we don't usually see it. We don't usually see it from that distance, but that looks like the good old Earth.
Right. What is happening is that one of the Mir crew members has a little small handheld camera inside the Russian space station, and he is pointing it out the window as he gets a chance to. I can tell just these pictures don't look too clear, but they are taken from the Mir. You can see one of Mir's solar panels there. And this is a picture, I believe, of the space shuttle that was taken at some time before the docking. We'll see when it gets more focused in. I'm not sure whether it's coming to us from Mir or the shuttle. That is obviously coming from Mir. It is a picture of the shuttle. This is a videotape replay that the cosmonauts had been making during the few minutes before docking. That's what Shuttle Atlantis looked like as it was approaching the Russian space station. And these pictures are being fed to Earth now, but they were taken some few minutes ago. And it's quite a sight. It must be for Michael Foale, who is looking out the window of the Mir Space Station as his ride home came up from beneath him. It must have been quite a thing for him to see. We are hearing on our NASA communications channel that the docking is proceeding normally. The two ships have touched now. There is a procedure that takes 5 to 7 minutes for the two ships to have what they call a hard docking. What happens is there are sort of leaves on, sort of like the petals of a flower, on both the Mir and the shuttle. Those two leaves are about to interconnect right on the bottom of your screen. If you look to the left of the CNN logo on your screen, you can see a little piece of light, a little line of light coming across the screen. That's where the two ships connect. You can see that light going out. The reason it is going out is that the shuttle is being driven upward into the bright red docking tunnel on Mir. That makes what the engineers call a hard mate. And when the two ships are hard mated, then there won't be any chance for air to get in or out of the docking connection, and that's a good thing. What will happen over the next hour or so is that the two ships will fly together just like this after the hard mate is confirmed, and they'll conduct some leak checks. They'll pump a little air into that docking tunnel, make sure it doesn't leak out. And then finally, in about 90 minutes, they'll have the hatch opening ceremony, and Michael Foale will get to see David Wolf for the first time in a long time. And Wolf is Foale's replacement on this mission. I would be willing to bet you that David Wolf's mom, who was at the launch of the space shuttle a couple nights ago, is watching our coverage now with great interest. But it looks like it's going very, very well. Jill?
She had said, in fact, Mrs. Wolf apparently said that she was hoping that David had taken his screwdriver with him. And actually, the Russian crews at one point about a week and a half ago had joked in a space link that was one of their primary fix-it tools. They actually have been improvising a lot. In fact, that computer repair that they did really at the last minute was bringing together spare parts and kind of weaving it together to work. So the screwdriver literally has come in handy. We've heard that more than once, that some of the tools that they had that were very, very sophisticated actually weren't the best things to use in the given case. So many times they just improvise. And that's really what the Russians have said all along, that their strength, even though there are a lot of things obviously that have gone wrong, that they pride themselves on being able to make it up at the last minute, pull it together, and fix it no matter what. So they're now obviously they're happy to have more equipment, and there is really quite a lot of equipment. They have a patch that they'll be putting on, as you know, John, to repair some of that damage from the accident back in June. They've got they have water, they have other equipment, and they even have some mail and personal gifts from the families, because after all, these men have been up there for quite a while. Michael Foale, of course, Mike Foale up there for 4.5 months, ready to come back, and David Wolf will be up for 4 months. So it's a long time to be up there.
No kidding, John. I know you know David Wolf pretty well. I have developed a pretty good friendship with him over the past 3 or 4 months of his training. He sent me an email message from quarantine in Florida the morning that he was launched into space. And in this message, he said, it is so important that people all over the earth understand how good it is to have a space program where human beings get to fly in space. And he gave you and the Cable News Network and even me an atta person for trying to tell that story to our viewers around the world. Let's listen in to NASA commentator Rob Navius and see how things are going.
Rehearsal of rendezvous and docking techniques to the Mir. He brought it all the way in just a few minutes ago, executing a textbook rendezvous and docking with the Mir Space Station at 2:58 p.m. Central Time. Atlantis and the Mir linked together for the 7th time in 2 years.
Atlantis, Houston, we see both hooks latched. You have a go for attitude control.
A very important and significant announcement that you just heard. That was a NASA astronaut on the ground in Houston telling the shuttle commander he can take control of the guidance for the Mir Space Station. This is a good thing, Jill. As you know, and I know, we have talked a lot about the fact that the Mir's onboard computer has failed 3 times in the past 3.5 weeks. And Mir, if that computer had failed while the 2 ships were together, it would have been bad. That is now out of the question because the shuttle, which has much newer computers than the one on board Mir, is now in control of the guidance of both pieces of equipment. As you look down into the cargo bay of Atlantis right now, you can see the docking port you could at the front. That docking port now connected in this live picture from space to the Mir Space Station.
The Shuttle Atlantis
this picture taken from the cargo bay of the shuttle, and the flashing lights that you see in the upper right-hand corner of your screen are docking and landing lights on the Mir, which were used to guide the shuttle into its docking.
Atlantis, Houston, you have a go for the shuttle attitude maneuver.
Ground controllers in Houston have told the shuttle it's in charge of keeping Mir on course now the 2nd time. We haven't heard back from the shuttle that they got the message. So folks in Houston are now waiting to hear.
Roger.
On board the space shuttle, they have a checklist, and they are at step 31E on that checklist. I don't have it in front of me, but it may well have something to do with the shuttle taking over attitude control of the now Mir Atlantis combination as it floats through space. All right, Jill Doherty, as we look at this picture from the space shuttle perspective, what are people in Moscow getting to see from Mir?
Yes, John.
Yeah, what are folks in Moscow
John,
getting to see?
I couldn't hear you.
Noisy where you are. I'm looking over your shoulder, Jill, and I was trying to figure out what folks at Russian Mission Control were able to see, as we are seeing in the United States a picture from the shuttle of the docking port, and it looks like the 2 ships have put themselves together very well.
Exactly. They have the probably the same picture that you're getting, John. They can see it on these screens. These are the ones that I was talking about. There's one behind me, another on the other side. And they're actually, the officials, the people who are in charge, are actually down on the floor below us looking up at that. And down there they have individual kind of pods where the different people who are specialists in different areas are working. They're coordinating, obviously, and then we have the commanders here in charge, the very high officials who are running the operation down on the floor, a little bit below us.
Yeah. Well,
and John, one other thing, we had a chance a few minutes ago. Our producer Ryan Chilcott had a chance to go around and talk to some of the officials who were here, and one of them used the word. It was a work of masters. Bringing those 2 ships together. So I guess they are pretty happy about how it went.
Well, they ought to be. It certainly sound like the work of masters, as the shuttle commander and the Mir commander were able to talk a little Russian, a little English, a little back and forth. It's a remarkable thing. We have on our illustration panel now another live picture from Mir, or rather from the shuttle, showing what's going on Mir. This spot right here, I guess you can see it in this line I'm drawing, is the spot where the shuttle and the Mir are connected. This part, the red part, is the Russian space station. This part down here, just one tiny little piece of the space shuttle. You can see the tail of the shuttle back there. It's a beautiful picture. It is very clear. It is being transmitted to Earth from the shuttle. And as things stand now, what will happen over the next couple of minutes is that they'll do leak checks on the shuttle Mir combination, make sure there's no way for air to get out, and they'll open the hatch and have a big arrival ceremony. We'll have that for you coming up in a little while. We'll watch it. Jill Doherty, thank you. And thank you, our viewers around the world, for watching. We'll now return you to our regularly scheduled programs after this pretty fascinating live event.